Hey, Pretty Girl Club. Welcome back to the Thin Privilege series. So, this is a little bit different than my Beluga series. The Beluga series is talking about why you're fat, and then my Thin Privilege series kind of talks about what it's like to be thin and my experiences as a woman who has a healthy body weight. If you want more Thin Privilege content, that is all on the Patreon. The reason I have a Patreon is because I want to weed out as many dusty ass bitches as possible. I don't want Dusticias and Pick-Me-Shas and Bonettas and Crusty Keishas watching my content for free because a lot of people they have a tendency to copy the Exoticals. People love to ride our coattails because we are the queen bees. We are the superstars both on and off the internet. But I want to talk about what my toxic skinny habits are as an Exotical. Yes, it's toxic because I just feel like a lot of skinny women, they don't really spill the tea on what it's like to really be thin. Okay, so number one, I only eat out socially. I do not go to restaurants. I don't order a bunch of DoorDash. I don't order a bunch of bullshit and then have it delivered to my door. First of all, that's a ripoff. Why would I pay $30 so I could eat poison? Why would I pay $30 for some processed cloned chicken wings? They're literally cloning the animal and they're genetically modifying it, and then they crush it up and create these nasty ass buffalo wings. So, why would I pay $50 on DoorDash just so I can have that nasty fake chicken delivered to my door? Not only is that financially dumb, but it's also bad for my body. So I only eat out if I'm going out with friends. So you know how some people they say, "Oh, I just drink socially. I don't drink a lot." Okay, well, bitch, I eat out socially. So I'm going out with my friend today, actually. So we might go out to eat, but I will actually tell my friends too, like, "Hey, there are no guarantees that I'm going to get anything, but I'll go out with you." So a lot of belugas, they don't know how to say no. They're lazy as fuck, they're people pleasers, and they feel like they have to eat in order to fit in. And so that's their problem. It's like, yeah, you're eating to fit in. You're eating so you can be accepted. Your friends are belugas. Your friends have bowling ball stomachs. Your friends are bloated as fuck. Your friends look like blowfish. You know the fish in the water that are like shaped like a circle and it looks like they have spikes coming out of them? Your friends are all shaped like porcupines. They're built like porcupines. They're built like beavers. And so now you're eating so you can fit in. That is the mindset of someone who is fat. So my rule number one is I only eat out socially. But if you have a lot of friends, though, like in my case, I do have a lot of friends that I go out with and stuff. But guess what? I will limit the activities and I will tell my friends in the group chat, I will be like, hey, just so you guys know, this month I'm prioritizing non food activities. So if you guys want to invite me to stuff, I prefer to go to yoga class together. I prefer to go to Pilates. Like, I will literally set boundaries. A lot of women are belugas because they have no boundaries. It's like, yeah, you have no boundaries. That's why your stomach has no boundaries. That's why your waistline has no boundaries. That's why it keeps getting bigger and bigger. You don't know when to stop. So I also will tailor my friendships and I will make sure that my friends are either thin privileged already or I'll make sure that they are pursuing thin privilege. So if I have a friend that's like overweight, all of my friends who are bigger, they're losing weight right now. Like they are in a weight loss journey. So that still aligns with what I'm doing because at least I'm around somebody who is trying to be a healthy weight versus somebody who just doesn't give a fuck and then they just eat anything. So, do you guys remember how I was talking about your hater archetype and how, like, when you're making friends, just go for the opposite of the hater archetype? So, in my case, my hater archetype is somebody who doesn't care about her body, it's someone who doesn't care about her health. So, that means that my friendship archetype would be the exact opposite. It's someone who likes pretty girl foods, it's someone who likes healthy foods, it's going to be somebody who doesn't view salads as being nasty. They'll be like, "Oh, that salad is nasty. Bitch, your stomach looks nasty. Now what?" I would rather eat a salad that's nasty than to have my face and my body and the back of my thighs look nasty. So it's like pick a struggle. Which one do you want to be nasty? Because there's always going to be something in life that you don't enjoy. And I just feel like a lot of women with a beluga mindset, they literally act like 5-year olds. They feel like everything has to be sunshine and rainbows, everything has to be fun and cotton candy and lollipops. It's like, no, ma'am, you're 45 years old. It's time to get over it. It's time to have discipline. Discipline means you're doing things you don't want to do. But number two, as far as my toxic skinny habits, I will wear cute lipstick and lip gloss that I don't want to mess up, and that is going to cause me to eat less. Because guess what? My makeup is done. I have my shimmery lip gloss on. I made my own custom lip color that day. So I'm not going to mess that up. And sometimes I won't bring all of my lip products. You know how some people they have like a lip combo? Okay, well, guess what? Maybe I didn't bring my lip combo in my purse. So if I eat this giant burger, my lips are just going to be dry and crusty the rest of the day. Some people's lips become crusty because they're eating too many potato chips. That's literally that helps your lips to be crusty because salt it naturally pulls moisture out. So if you're eating a bunch of salt, if you're eating a bunch of buffalo sauce and barbecue sauce, well, yeah, your mouth is going to look nasty. You're going to have little flecks of potato chips stuck to the lip gloss and it's going to look like crust. And then you're going to have barbecue sauce on the sides of your mouth. And then you're going to have barbecue sauce on your chin. Then you're going to have buffalo sauce all over your teeth. So, part of how I remain skinny and I don't overeat is I'll brush my teeth right before I go out. So it's like, okay, do I really want to go from having breath that smells good to suddenly having buffalo sauce breath? Do I really want to walk around with my breath smelling like ranch and then I have white ranch on the corners of my mouth? No, I don't. So that's one of the ways that I stay thin. I'll do something to my teeth ahead of time. Like maybe I'll do a teeth whitening treatment right before I go out. Maybe I'll do like brushing my teeth, flossing minutes before I leave, or I will like do a super cute lip gloss or something. So this mouth is already looking like a snack. So I don't need to eat the snack. I don't want to eat graham crackers and have a bunch of graham cracker crumbs all over me. For what? And for all the people who say, oh, Exoticals United, why do you care so much? Like, why do you care about being a healthy weight? Well, number one, I've never heard anybody overweight say that being overweight changed their life. And that includes women with a fat ass, by the way. Like, all the women who brag about having a bigger butt than me, they brag about having bigger boobs than me. I've never seen those women say, hey, my life has changed because of my big butt. I have so much more privilege in life now. My life is so much easier because I'm 20 pounds overweight and I have a big butt. I've never heard of that other than being an ex worker. So I happen to not be an ex worker. I happen to not want to do OF. And so because I don't want to do that, I see no reason for me to be big. So if you can convince me that there's a benefit to being overweight, then that's fine. But until then, I'm going to remain skinny and I'm going to be healthy. Also, you cannot deny someone's beauty when their body is healthy. You can't convince me that my body is not beautiful. So I think that's another reason that I enjoy being thin because it literally eliminates the insecurities. There's no such thing as healthy bodies being considered ugly. But you know what? There is a such thing as fat phobia. There is a such thing as people discriminating if you have like big boobs or a big butt. There is a such thing as being over sexualized or, being treated disrespectfully because you have a bigger body. So, out of all the issues that I'm going through in this life, why would I pick another struggle? Why would I choose to be disadvantaged? If I have the choice between privilege versus not being privileged, I'm going to choose the privilege every time. So, that's another one of my toxic skinny habits. I enjoy the power that comes from being thin and being in shape. Something else too is this morning I was looking at Amazon and I saw this super cute top. It was like a bikini top, but it was made out of denim. So think of like jeans, but it's like a bikini top. That top would look so cute on me. So I enjoy looking at clothes and then kind of imagining myself in the clothes and then thinking about how cute it's going to look on me. Most women could never pull off that top. You can't wear a bikini top because you're going to be spilling out everywhere. You're going to have the armpit fat. You're going to have the back fat. Then there's the bra strap fat. Then there's the stomach hanging out. Then the boobs are sagging because you got the excess fat in the boobs. Then you got the stretch marks on the boobs. Then you got the stretch marks on the armpits. No, I don't want to have stretch marks everywhere. I want my skin to be smooth. And part of having healthy, smooth skin, by the way, is by having a healthy diet. So, yes, I'm going to be eating avocados. Yesterday, I had like some avocados and I had some black eyed peas. Like, that was literally a part of my dinner yesterday. So, I like the results that come with being skinny. But number three, toxic skinny habit. I will bring a clutch purse to the event. So now I can't carry a plate around because I'm carrying my purse. So how am I going to fit? How am I going to carry around a cocktail, a daiquiri, an ice cream, and then a burger? No, my hands are already full. I've got my cute clutch purse in one hand. I've got my phone in the other hand. So my hands are already occupied. For some people, they need to occupy their hands. Like part of why they eat so much is because it's kind of like a tick or a fidgeting habit. So I've learned how to occupy my hands and do other stuff rather than just like eating. So sometimes I'll get like a cup of tea, I'll get like a hot cup of coffee because I just want the warmth of the coffee. Sometimes I'm craving a temperature. I'm not even craving the food. I'm just craving warmth. So I'll just buy like a hot tea from the restaurant. I'll buy a hot cup of coffee and then just the sensation of having that warm cup in my hand, that makes me feel like a sense of comfort and it makes me feel cozy. Or like if it's a hot day, I can just get some ice cold water instead of getting like an ice cream or a slushy. So I have a lot of 0 calorie hacks. I try to ask myself, like, okay, what exactly am I craving? Do I want something cold? Do I want something hot? Do I just want to occupy my hands? But bringing the clutch purse, the purses that don't have a strap on it, so it's like you have to carry that purse. I will bring stuff like that or like a wristlet. So I have to keep track of the wristlet. I have to hold it in my hand for the most part. I will bring stuff like that. And then guess what? I can't eat a whole bunch. Okay, number four, I will actually go to events where I know the food is going to be a ripoff. So if I'm at a festival, I know better than to spend $30 on a basic burger. That's going to get rid of my appetite right there. The fact that it's $30 for a nasty processed burger. If that doesn't kill your appetite, I don't know what will. If you're paying $30 for a McDonald's burger at a festival, you have way bigger problems than just your weight. So I think another part of like not overeating is I'm not about to spend that amount of money. I'm not about to be ripped off. The price of meat is up, the price of coffee is up. There are so many different like food shortages and stuff, and then it drives up the prices. And a lot of these festivals and concerts and the movie theater and all that, they know that you have no other option. So that's why they're basically robbing you by charging you $30 for a bucket of popcorn. And then the popcorn will be burnt at the bottom. You literally just charged me $30 for a popcorn and a slushy. The slushy is watery, it's already melting. The slushy tastes sour and tangy. It literally has a slight smell of mold to it. And then you want to give me this crusty, burnt popcorn that has little black dots on the inside of it. So the kernel inside of the popcorn is jet black because you burned the popcorn. The popcorn literally tastes like rocks. And then I try to put a whole bunch of butter on it. Then I try to put salt on it to try to make it taste good. And it still tastes bad. So now I've got oil all over my face from the butter. Now my fingers are all oily. I've got these greasy fingers. And then I try to wipe the grease off my fingers with a napkin. And then the napkins, they always have the cheapest, most thin napkins at the movie theater. It's always a teeny tiny napkin. It's like 1 ply toilet paper. That's literally how thin the napkins are at the movie theater. So you're telling me I just paid $30. The popcorn is burnt. The kernels are jet black. The slushy is melted. And the slushy is not even sweet. It's literally sour. It tastes like liquid Sour Patch Kids. It tastes like liquid watered down Sour Patch Kids. And it tastes like fake gummy bears. And then they want to sell the gummy bears at the movie theater, and the gummy bears are rock hard. So as soon as you get the gummy bear, you try to bite into the gummy bear, and you damn near are about to break your jaw just by biting into the gummy bear because it's hard, because it's been sitting there for 6 months. So you're telling me I'm supposed to pay $30 for some low quality food, and it's making me fat? And then on top of that, and the movie is bad too. Like, let's say the movie is not even that great, or maybe you're going to a concert or something, it's not even that great. They're lip syncing. Okay, so guess what? You just wasted all that time and money getting fatter. So you cannot tell me you're a smart person and you're willing to stay overweight. That's not smart. That literally makes no logical sense. Why do I stay skinny? Because it's smart. Being thin is smart. That's a sign that you're a smart person. If you are smart enough to be disciplined, it's a sign of discipline. So, no, I'm not about to get ripped off and eat some greasy rocks and some burnt popcorn that's super crusty and then it's got dust. Sometimes the bag on the popcorn literally has flecks of dust on it. So no, I'm not eating some dusty popcorn. I don't want a watered down slushy. I don't want a nasty grilled cheese sandwich and then the cheese on the sandwich is all plasticky and shiny. Like if that is appetizing to you, something is wrong with you. If you're going to an event and you are purchasing a grilled cheese sandwich, you're literally just eating bread with like melted liquid plastic on it. That's basically what you're eating. You cannot convince me otherwise. You are eating $30 worth of microplastics. So you're telling me you paid all that money at the festival so you could get the BLT. You paid that money so you could get your grilled cheese, and it's literally just melted plastic. So it's like, no, I'm not doing that. So when I go to the event, I would rather just look cute, have my cute little clutch purse. If I want to get a drink, I can get a 0 calorie drink, such as an Americano. I can get a black coffee, anything with like stevia or Splenda or Truvia, whatever 0 calorie sweetener you like to have equal. I'd rather get that. Some lemon water with some Splenda in it. Boom, that's my lemonade, bitch. Minute Maid where? Why would I drink Minute Maid? Minute Maid is by far the nastiest lemonade on earth. If you drink Minute Maid, you are mentally ill. You're mentally ill because how do you drink that and it tastes good? It literally tastes like Lysol. It tastes like, so the Pine Sol that you put in the toilet after you go pee? You know how you're like scrubbing the toilet, then you put the yellow stuff in there and like it makes it smell good? You're basically drinking Pine Sol and Fabuloso. That's what Minute Maid is. That's literally what it smells like to me. That's what it tastes like to me. That's nasty. So it's like, no, I could have just made my own lemonade. I could have just ordered a water and then I could have asked them to put real lemons in the water. I could have squeezed my own lemon in there and just put my own little Truvia or a little pinch of sugar or whatever. And that's my lemonade. That's more real than the Minute Maid that you're drinking. So I just find it hilarious how people say healthy food is nasty. It's like, no, your food is nasty because it's making your body look nasty. My food is actually not nasty because my food it makes my body look good. And so clearly my food is the one that's the good one. If you're eating food where even ants don't want to eat it, like think about this. A fly or an ant or a bug doesn't even want to touch the food that you're eating. So you're literally eating worse food than ants. Yet you expect me to believe that I'm unhealthy. You expect me to believe that I'm the unhealthy one, I'm the stupid one, but your food quality is so bad that even a fucking ant turns its nose up at your plate. An ant is crawling, like you're over here having a picnic, you're bringing all this grilled cheese and bullshit to the picnic, and like the ants, instead of crawling on your blanket and trying to eat your food, the ants are like, oh, hell no, I'm not eating this bullshit. What is this garbage? And literally, the ants are walking away from your food. That's how bad it is. Yet you expect me to believe that I'm crazy. I'm being extreme because I don't want to eat microplastics. And then some people, they're such fatties that they literally are willing to pay $5 just so they could get a Reese's bar from the vending machine. $5 for a Reese's bar? Are you insane? So now you're willing to get ripped off. At that point, you are voluntarily getting ripped off. If you're buying candies at the gas station or if you're buying shit from a vending machine, you are not smart. You're not smart because you're you're being upcharged like 300% for a small piece of chocolate. And again, it's fake, it's plastic. And then people will be like, oh no, but Reese's has peanut butter in it. That's not real peanut butter. If you want real peanut butter, go to the grocery store, go to the aisle where they have the nuts. And then in some cases, you can actually grind your own peanut butter, but it's like, go to the health food store and then compare their peanut butter to the Reese's peanut butter. I guarantee you it's not the same. And by the way, If it says on the packaging, oh, this is made with real peanut butter, okay, so that's proof that it's not real then, because what they're saying is we made it with a little bit of the real peanuts. Okay, so they put one peanut in a gallon of sugar and then they blended it up in a factory and then they put it inside of a Reese's bar and they're trying to convince you that it's healthy. And by the way, if you're looking at the packaging and then it says low calorie, low fat, whatever, and then you're just eating it, you're also not very smart because that's marketing. They're trying to sell you the product. So you fell for the ad. Because it says low fat Cheetos or, on the back of the little Cheetos thing, it says, "Oh, it's only 150 calories." All calories are not the same. They're not all processed in the same way. Anybody who has lost weight knows this. Like for example, if I eat 1500 calories worth of Cheetos versus 1500 calories worth of fruits and vegetables, it's going to be totally different. My energy level is going to be different. The way my body looks is going to be different because if I'm eating healthy, I'm actually getting protein, which causes me to have muscle. So that's how a lot of people become skinny fat. It's because, again, they're eating microplastics and Cheetos. It's like, yeah, that's why your body looks like melted plastic because that's what you're eating. You're eating melted plastic for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're eating American cheese. And if you don't believe me about the whole plastic thing, just look at how it looks. When I look at cheese, like when I go to Subway, which is also unhealthy, a lot of people are like, "Oh no, you just get the 6-inch sandwich. That's healthy, or just get a foot long." No, go to Subway right now and go look at the cheese. Go see how it looks in the deli. It has shininess to it. It literally has a shine. It reminds me of pleather or like a plastic. So you can't convince me that that's cheese. And by the way, I try not to eat a lot of dairy because a lot of dairy also causes inflammation. It causes mucus buildup. So it's like, okay, you're trying to tell me that I'm crazy. You got a nose full of mucus right now. You got a mouth full of mucus right now. And you want to convince me that I'm dusty? So I'm dusty, yet your entire mouth is filled with mucus. You have ranch dressing on the corners of your lips right now. Your whole entire body looks like melted plastic, yet I'm the one that's dusty. Bitch, you're shaped like a ball of dust. What are you talking about? You're literally built like a dust particle. What are you talking about? Dust particles are usually like a circular blob. Okay, so you are literally built like a particle of dust. You are built like a pile of dust. Yet you're trying to tell me that something is wrong with me. No, something is wrong with you, ma'am. You're saying I'm crazy, yet you eat garbage for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then you get mad when you're built like a garbage bag. You get mad when your body looks like a sack of garbage. It's like, yeah, that's what you've been eating, girl. If you treat your body like a dumpster, you're going to look like a dumpster. You're going to be built like a garbage truck, or you're going to be built like a garbage bag. And that's it. Okay, but number 4, skinny toxic habit is wearing comfortable walking shoes and wearing lower heels so that I can walk around more versus just sitting and eating. Have you ever noticed it's always the biggest woman in the room that's got the highest heels on? The biggest woman in the room, she always has on 6-inch stilettos, 7-inch heels. She's got wedges on. Why? Well, because she's not going anywhere. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't walking nowhere. You're going to be sitting on your butt, eating a plate all night long because you can't walk around in those shoes anyway. So she already knew she was going to be a beluga. That's why she wore these big ass uncomfortable shoes. She's squeezing her ankles up. You know those shoes that tie up like the sandals that have the string where it ties up around your calves? Her calves are bound up. She basically has zombie tape all around her calves right now. She's trying to hold up her cankles in these high heels that she wrapped around her foot. Her baby toe is throbbing right now. Her toes are squeezed into these shoes. She's about to pop out of those shoes like a can of biscuits. She's about to pop out of them. So it's like, yeah, that's a beluga habit. Belugas always wear super uncomfortable shoes and they're not walking around anywhere. They can't. They literally can't walk. She can barely walk when she's in flats. So how is she going to be able to walk in 6-inch heels? She can't. So that's another big girl habit. Wearing these shoes, you can't walk around. You don't get to explore the venue. All you can do is sit around and eat your plate, eat whatever's on the plate. So one of my skinny girl hacks is I always wear comfortable shoes. If I'm wearing heels, they're going to be probably a lower heel or it might be a chunkier heel that I can walk around in. So I'm going to be walking around. I'm not going to be sitting and eating. Okay, I'm going to be walking around. I'm going to be working the room. I'm going to be exploring what's at the event. I'm going to be taking pictures. I'm going to be looking cute. I'm going to be taking selfies, looking in the mirror. I'm going to be meeting people. But it's always the big backs that have the giant shoes on. They can't walk anywhere. They can't meet anyone. And then have you ever noticed, like on TikTok, they always have these videos of women saying, "Oh, everybody was mean at the event," or "Everybody was rude to me," or "I had a bad time at the event." You barely even went to the event. You were just a fly on the wall at the event. You were sitting down. You didn't get on the dance floor. You didn't walk around and meet new people. You couldn't even walk across the room because your heels were too high. Your toes were being scrunched up inside of some pointy ass heels. Why would you wear heels? If you have wide feet, why are you wearing high heels that have a pointy toe on it? You're literally putting your toes in prison right now. Your toes are behind bars right now in those high heels. Your toes are being squeezed up. So now you're fat and you have bunions. So now you're big. And then when you get home, now you got corns as well. Do you see how being a beluga, it's like a domino effect. It literally, like, everything just kind of falls apart from there. So it all starts off with her eating badly, then she has no energy. And literally, some foods affect your mood. So, like in my case, if I eat a whole bunch of sugar, I'm going to have a sugar crash. So I'm not going to have any energy. So have you ever noticed there are a lot of belugas? They'll be like, "Oh, my social battery is dead. My social battery is low." No, your blood sugar is low, actually. You ate 700 calories worth of sugar and then you crashed after that. So, yeah, of course you're tired at the event. And so that's why I don't even like when it comes to my friendships and stuff, I only hang out with women who care about their health because it's so boring to me to just be sitting in the back of the room, you're basically falling asleep because you're in a food coma. And then we can't walk anywhere because Big Bertha, she decided to wear these gigantic high heels. But number five, toxic skinny girl habit is I will wear an outfit that I don't want to be bloated in. So, for example, I show my stomach all the time, I show my arms all the time, I show my back all the time. So, I'm very aware of my body. I'm not walking around in a big, baggy, gigantic. It's always the big girls who want the baggy clothes to be in style 24/7. Has anybody noticed that? Like, oh no, that's a look, the oversized t-shirt and then the basketball shorts and then like the flip-flops and wearing the giant baggy pants. No, that's how you have to dress because you have to cover everything up. I'm not trying to hide my body. I get to show off my body. Guess what? I worked hard for this body, bitch, so I'm going to show it off. And especially the older you get too, the more of a flex it becomes having a healthy body. So being in your mid 30s, being in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, it makes you look even more accomplished to have a healthy body the older you get. So, no, Keisha, I'm not gonna wear a boxy t-shirt. Why would I wear these big ass hammer pants and like a boxy t-shirt? Why would I wear that? No, I don't have to wear that. If I want to wear strings or a halter top with the back out and everything, then I can wear that. I like being able to go braless. I like being able to go backless. I like being able to wear strapless. A lot of women who, their body is not where they want it to be, they could never. Like I've literally heard women say, "Oh, I can't wear strapless. Oh, I can't wear this. I can't show my stomach. Oh, I can't wear shorts. I can't wear a mini skirt." Okay, well, guess what? I don't have those problems. I can wear whatever I want. Mini skirt, a long skirt, t-shirt, crop top. So out of all the clothing options, why would I choose the baggiest, bulkiest? First of all, are you not hot? It's summertime. Like, why would I be wearing a giant long sleeve shirt? Like, why would I be wearing a tunic? I'm basically wearing a long sleeve tunic and then some hammer pants in the middle of the summer. It's 95 degrees. No, I'm not wearing that because I don't have to cover my body. So when you're skinny, you also have more chances to be creative with your wardrobe because I see a lot of skinny women, they're wearing like bikini tops and then they will put like a little denim jacket over it. Or like, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of the fashionistas or some of the most creative outfits, usually they're being worn by women who have a healthy body. So I'm going to be creative. I'm sorry that you have been banned from wearing a halter top. I'm sorry that your body disagrees with you. You literally put on a tube top and your body was like, "Oh, hell no, fuck this shit." You tried to put on high-waisted pants and your stomach was like, "Oh, fuck that." So, I don't want my own body to be my worst enemy. So I like the fact that my body cooperates with the outfits. I like that my body fits inside of the outfits. You know how they have small cups sometimes with the bra, or like, some girls they complain like, "Oh, my boobs are falling out or my stomach's hanging out." Well, I don't have to worry about that. My weight is healthy and I can wear clothes that like they're actually built for somebody who has my shape. And that's another thing. The fashion industry caters to women who have healthy bodies. And I also feel like as a thin woman, I can kind of repurpose my clothes. So, for example, I've had tank tops and I could turn the tank top into a strapless. I could cut up my shirt and then turn it into a halter top if I want. If my pants are like too short or something, I can turn those pants into capris and then it still looks cute. Or I don't know. I just feel like there are so many random ways that I've been able to kind of repurpose my outfits. And I couldn't do that when I was a beluga. I couldn't repurpose anything. In fact, I had to buy clothes with like extra lining in it, to try to reinforce everything. And it's like, imagine having to spend $150 on Skims. I'm not spending 150 on Skims. Bitch, my body is the Skim. What are you talking about? I'm built like a Skim. I'm naturally built like a Spanx. Like the Spanx thing that's trying to hold up your butt or whatever. I'm built like that already. So I don't have to walk around. Let's be honest, a lot of women who are at an unhealthy weight, they feel like they are bad built. They do. And if they don't, society feels like they are bad built. So there's no way you can get around this. Like the bottom line is you will be discriminated against, you will be treated differently and badly when you are at an unhealthy weight. But number six, my toxic skinny habit, I do not waste calories on things that don't taste that good. So, for example, I used to think that I loved pizza. I used to think that I loved burgers. Actually, no, I don't. I like the meat in the burger. I like the meat and the toppings in the burger. I don't love the buns. I don't love the bun of the burger. Like, if I were to go to a burger shop and then they only gave me the buns and then they forgot to put the meat in there, I would feel ripped off, right? Because I'm like, that's not really the burger. So a lot of people they think that they love these foods. They don't really love that. You don't love pasta because you don't really like the noodles. You just like the sauce. You just like the texture. So stop saying that you like pasta. You don't like pasta. You like pasta sauce. Stop saying you like burgers. You don't like burgers. You like fried beef. You like fried beef with lettuce and tomato and cheese on top of it. That's what you like. So I learned that I only like portions of the processed food. So I started off by putting vegetables. I started by making my own like vegetable version of it. So for example, with pizza, I don't like the crust. I don't. I don't like the crust of the pizza. I only eat the crust because I feel like I have to eat the crust in order to take a bite of the pizza. And I don't really even like the sauce either. The red sauce on the pizza, red sauce is like my least favorite sauce. So it's like, okay, Exoticals United, you don't even like pizza. You just like cheese and pepperoni. That's it. So you spent $30 on a giant pizza. You spent all this money. You ordered two boxes from Pizza Hut and you don't even like 75% of the contents of the pizza. So part of the beluga culture is thinking that you like all these foods. And it's like, no, there's probably something about that processed food that you don't even like. For example, I don't really like sandwiches. I don't. I don't really like the bread of the sandwich. I don't really like the crust of the sandwich. No matter what type of bread, like I learned that I really don't like bread like how I thought I did. So if I were to order like a Subway sandwich, for example, the bread does not taste that good. In fact, if the bread is too big, like if it's a giant hoagie or something like that, it actually kind of takes away from the taste a little bit. So a lot of you guys, you think that you like stuff and you really don't even like it. Oh, but I love fries. No, you only like the one Chick-fil-A fries. No, you only like waffle fries. You only like fresh fries with salt on them. You only like the fries that are actually cut from the potato. You only like curly fries. Like that's what I learned about myself. I don't like all fries. I like curly fries sometimes. I like waffle fries. Okay, so it's the shape. I don't like fries that are just the random sticks. And especially if they're like a light yellow fry. Oh no, that's gonna be nasty. If it's a yellow fry or an orange fry, no. So I learned that a lot of the processed foods that I was like eating every single day, I wasn't really enjoying it as much as I thought I was. So I was just kind of wasting calories basically. I was kind of wasting my food experiences on mediocre, subpar processed foods. So I'm a lot more picky now. If I am going to eat processed foods, oh, it better be a fucking curly fry. It needs to be a soft curly fry. It needs to be slightly orange because that's how I know it's got the seasoning on it that I like. It needs to have a slight orange look, and then it needs to be paired with barbecue sauce. No ketchup, no mustard, no mayonnaise. Don't put cheese on the curly fries. Do not put chili beans. Do not put fucking chili cheese. That's nasty. A lot of these chili cheese fries, you're eating chili out of a can. They literally got the Ben's chili or the Bush's chili or whatever. They bought that from the grocery store and then they just dumped it on your fries. So I don't know why you paid $15 and then you got the same plastic nacho cheese on there. They literally put Bush's chili and Tostitos melted cheese on your fries and then they're selling it to you for $20 saying, "Oh, this is chili cheese fries." No, that's nasty. You're eating foods out of the can. So, one of my skinny habits is I'm not going to waste calories on things that don't even taste that good. A lot of my favorite foods, I didn't really like the entire favorite food. So, like with the whole pizza thing, I started making broccoli. Like in order to train myself to like vegetables, I started off by making broccoli and then I would take off the cheese off of a pizza. Like I would scrape the cheese and I would scrape the pepperoni off and put it on top of the broccoli because that's me still getting I'm still getting what I wanted, which was the quote unquote pizza, and then I'm also making myself eat some vegetables. Because think about it, if you're a pizza person, do you really like the entire pizza? Think about that for a second. Are there certain brands of pizzas that you don't like Domino's? In my case, I hate Domino's. Pizza Hut is fine, but at Domino's, no. So why is that? Well, it's because of the texture of the crust at Domino's. So that's proof that I really don't like pizza like that. If you truly like a food, you would like it in all forms. So that means you really don't like it as much as you think you do. So you're putting the food on a pedestal. Stop putting food on a pedestal. Take that shit off the pedestal. Domino's is not even good. Pizza Hut is really not good either. I actually prefer Mod. Mod is actually my favorite pizza. Okay, well, why do I like Mod? Well, it's because the crust is so thin and small that it's not interfering with the actual pizza. When I go to Mod Pizza, I can actually tell them what to put. I always would get the extra cheese back in the day, and then I would put like the oil on it, like olive oil, and then I never would get the red sauce. I would always get the green sauce. Okay, so then Exoticals United, you really don't like pizza. You only like Mod Pizza specifically. You only like custom made pizzas. So why are you purchasing Domino's? So for some of you guys, you're saying that you like burgers, you like pizza. No, you only like In-N-Out burger specifically. You only like the meat of the burger and the toppings. You don't like the buns. So why are you eating the buns then? Like when you order the burger. So learning the exact pieces of the food that I liked and didn't like, that helped me to like stop eating it. And then with the whole pasta thing, I used to think that I loved pasta, but in reality, I only like the bow tie pasta. I forgot the name of it, but I like the bow tie specifically, and I only like the green sauce, so that's pesto. Pesto is the number one. If you like any other sauces, you are missing out. Pesto is by far the best sauce. The green sauce is better than the red one and is definitely better than the white one. So I realized, okay, I don't actually like pasta like that. I only like pesto sauce. And so then I just started making vegetables with the pesto sauce on them. So that I'm still kind of having the best of both worlds. I get to have the sauce that I want, but I'm putting it on a vegetable. So a lot of you guys, you only like about 50 to 70% of whatever your favorite processed food is. So for example, onion rings, that's another thing that I used to like. I really didn't like the onion part. I only liked the bread. So it's like the fried bread part of the onion ring because whenever I would bite into the onion ring at Sonic, I always would pull the onion out because it just tasted like a watery shoestring. Like it was just nasty. It was like a watery shoestring. It was just like this random gray, like it looked like a noodle almost. So I didn't really like onion rings. What I really liked was fried bread. So basically the skin, I only liked the skin. And that was also how I discovered I don't really like chicken like that for the most part. I only liked the fried chicken skin if it's dipped in like lemon pepper or something. That was the only part that I liked. So for some of you guys, you need to take a look at the foods that you think you like because you probably don't even like it that much. So it's like when I go out and then there's a pizza place, why would I spend $25 or why would I spend $7 on a slice of pizza when I know that I don't even like 60% of that pizza? I don't even like the crust. Or same thing with the pretzels. You know how you go to like the movie theater and you get the pretzel? I realized I don't even like the actual bread pretzel part. I just like the dip. So, dipping it in the cheese, or if it's like a cinnamon pretzel or something, dipping it in the little sugary part. Okay, so I spent $15 just so I could get a small thing of nacho cheese. That's really what it was. I just wanted to taste the nacho cheese. And then what really helped me stop being a beluga was breaking down what exact taste I like. So, for example, with cheese, that used to be one of my weaknesses. That was probably one of the top five things that made me a beluga, by the way, is dairy, especially cheese. But it's like, okay, what did I like about the cheese? I like salt. That's what it was. I was a slave to the white stuff, the salt. I liked the salty taste of the cheese and I liked the texture of the cheese. So, like a soft, kind of melty texture. So that's all it was. All I wanted was some liquid salt. That's basically what that is. And once you start to describe it for what it really is, it becomes much more nasty when you think about it. Like, ew, I was craving liquid melted salt. That just sounds nasty. I was craving liquid fat and salt. That's all it is. That's really what cheese is. It's liquid fat and it's sodium and salt. And then once you start to dissect, like, okay, well, where does it come from? Then it gets even more nasty. Okay, so I was craving pus. That's what milk is, by the way. Pus and then yogurt and all that. So it's pus or it's fermented, like blue cheese and all that. So it's like slightly molded. So I was literally craving mold. So not only was I gaining weight and being a beluga, but I was also eating mold. So you want to say that I'm crazy? You literally have stank breath. You have a stinky cooter because you're eating mold. You're literally feeding parasites in your body right now. Your body is inflamed. You're literally causing acne. That's actually one of the top causes of adult acne in particular is actually dairy. But a lot of people they won't admit that. A lot of people they just don't care about their skin, so they allow themselves to get acne. So it's like the cause of your acne, the cause of your fat. You were craving all this liquid salt, aka cheese. You were craving liquid fat and pus because it has a salty taste. And one thing I learned too was that I've noticed I crave savory foods. That's my biggest thing that I like. It's foods that are savory. I don't really crave spice. I don't really crave sweets anymore like how I used to. So for me, it's the savory stuff. So that's why the cheese, I was just craving a savory taste. And it's like, okay, so then just find another way to get something savory. How about you just eat some vegetables and put a little bit of salt on it? You don't have to have this liquid Tostitos cheese in order to have the savory taste. So for a lot of belugas, they're just craving a certain taste. They're just craving a certain like flavor profile. So for some people, their weakness is savory foods like me. So that would be like the soul food. That would be like, I don't know, any sort of comfort food. I also noticed that sometimes I would crave carbs. So, like mac and cheese, like just very heavy, dense foods, like the pizza thing. Part of that was my body wanted carbs. Okay, so I learned how to feed my body carbs, but like a healthier version. So instead of feeding it a bunch of bread, instead of eating white bread from like the pizza crust, I learned to eat sweet potatoes or just you could eat regular roasted potatoes. So you're still getting something that is soft in texture because it's like a roasted potato. It's still soft in texture. Then you can put your own salt on it, like pink Himalayan salt or sea salt, whatever. You put your own salt on it, so you're getting the same taste. So it's like you went through all that drama. You went to that event. You spent $15 on a pretzel just so you could get the nasty little cup of Tostitos cheese all because you wanted something savory when all you had to do was just go buy potatoes. You could have solved that entire craving by buying a bag of potatoes for $3. and just putting salt on it. But another one of my toxic skinny habits is I'm very picky about the events I go to. I'm only going to an event if I'm excited about that event. So if the thing I'm most excited about is the food, I'm not going. I shouldn't be going because that means the event is really trash. The event sucks. I'm only going because of the food. No, because the companies know that their food is the most interesting thing at the event. That's why they rip you off. That's why they double charge you. A normal burger from McDonald's is like $5 or $10, and now suddenly because you're at a concert and they've got a little McDonald's stand in there, now suddenly that same exact burger is double the price. They're doing that because they know that the food is going to be more interesting than the event. So I'm not going then. I'm not going. So that's another one of my skinny girl hacks. If there's nothing else going on, so for example, like a sports game, that's part of the reason I don't usually go to sports games because I don't really watch sports. I don't really keep up with what's going on. And I already know that I'm going to be most excited about the concession stand. I already know that if I go to a fucking sports game, I'm just going to go to the concession stand and get a bunch of Dippin' Dots. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get Dippin' Dots. That's what I'm going to be the most excited about. So that means I should probably not be going to that event because I'm not that into it. So with my friends, I also I'll say no, like if the event is not that exciting. So when you're going out, what types of events excite you the most? To where like even if there was no food at the event, you would still be excited. That's proof that you actually like that event. So I go to a lot of like dancing types of events. I'll go to like different shows and stuff, like entertainment. So in terms of the movies, I need to be excited about the movie itself rather than just being excited about the food. Because otherwise, I already told you, I'm going to get the burnt popcorn. It's going to be crusty. And I'm going to drench it in butter. Then I'm going to have oil everywhere. Then I'm going to have little flecks of popcorn all over my face. So, the question that a lot of belugas don't answer is why are you going to the event? Are you going so you can meet people? Because if so, then why would you wear gigantic shoes to where you can't even walk around? A lot of people just eat because they're anxious. They eat because they're bored. The event was boring. They wasted their time. They wasted their money. So all they can do is just sit around and eat. I'm not doing that. I'm not going. I'm not going to the event. I'm only going if it's like a fitness based event. That's another one of my skinny girl hacks. I go to fitness events all the time. So whether I'm spectating the event or whether I'm participating in the event, so like 5Ks, half marathons, watching my friends finish their race or whatever, watching them finish their biking thing, their triathlon, whatever's going on, I will go to stuff like that because the main event is not food. It's focused on fitness. You're surrounded by athletes. Everybody walking around, for the most part, is in shape. So, do you really want to be the one beluga standing off to the side eating up a bunch of donuts? Most of those events, they don't even have vendors there that sell donuts. They're going to have like health food vendors there. So, I think, like I said, being a beluga is cultural. It's a cultural issue. If you're a beluga, it's because you are participating in beluga culture. So part of beluga culture is sitting at home watching TV. That's beluga culture. The most exciting thing in your life is that Love Island is coming on. I've literally heard of people saying that they become depressed when a show ends. They will literally say that they're depressed or they're like a little bit sad because the show is over and like now they don't have any more episodes to watch. That's really sad. Like, are you in prison? Because you literally sound like somebody who is in a cell right now. You sound like somebody in prison. The most exciting thing is they get to watch a show in their cell. As a matter of fact, no, you have it worse than the prisoners because at least the prisoners, they get to go out on the yard and they get to like play basketball and stuff. A lot of belugas, they're not even doing that. You're not going to play basketball. So you're literally living worse than somebody in a prison cell. And then you wonder why you're in a social prison. But for some women, like part of why they're fat is because they're not going to any exciting events. So any event they're going to, the most exciting thing is food, like food festivals. When it comes to food festivals, I will limit the amount of food festivals I can go to. So I will do maybe one every 90 days maximum. I'm not doing a food festival every weekend because that makes no sense. I try to explore the world in other ways. The belugas, the way that they explore is using their taste buds. It's using their mouth. They explore different snacks, and then when it comes to dating, they're exploring men's dicks with their mouths, and then they're begging to be picked on dating apps by white men. That's beluga culture. That's literally femcel adjacent. Beluga culture is femcel adjacent. So when I'm looking for events, I need to make sure that it's an event that I really want to go to. So you have to get this is why you have to know yourself. They say know thyself for a reason. Okay, so what do you like to do? Do you like to dress up? So then look for galas in your city. Look for like events where you get dressed up. Look for like black tie events or whatever, or like, go to these different things like an auction or something. Go to events where you get to dress up if that's really what you like to do. Do you like fitness stuff? Do you like outdoorsy stuff? Because there are so many things you can do outdoors. You can go rock climbing, you can go hike up a mountain, you can go, I don't know, have a picnic outside or something. You can go read a book. You don't even have to have the picnic. You can just read a book outside on a blanket. So, a lot of women are belugas because they're afraid to be alone. They're afraid to like analyze themselves. Being a beluga, it comes from lack of self awareness. You don't know what your actual hobbies are. You don't know who you really are. You don't know what you really enjoy. And so, food becomes a way of just like numbing yourself or soothing yourself. And also, think about it. Who told you to eat that many calories? Who told you to eat 5,000 calories today? What are their names? Nobody. You're doing it because you're not present. You don't know how to be present in your own body. You don't know how to listen to your body. Why? Well, because you don't care. You don't care about your body. So just admit that. That's the first step to no longer being a beluga is admitting your flaws. Hey, I've been neglecting my body. Hey, I don't care about my body, clearly. Okay, why not? Well, it's because I'm depressed or it's because I have no reason to care. Like when I was the biggest, number one, I never ate at the table. That's one of the main reasons I became a beluga. I was never present when it came to eating. I was always eating just like rushing. I was eating while working, eating while driving, eating while walking. So I was never truly paying attention to like, how does my stomach feel? How does my body feel after I ate that giant cookie? Do I feel good after eating that or is my stomach upset after that? So I would use food as a way to solve problems. If my stomach was hurting, I would eat food. Like, oh, I'm probably hungry. No, you're not hungry. You just ate something that your stomach didn't like. So I think that's a part of beluga culture is kind of numbing out or, just being numb all the time. And then they're using food so they can have sensations. They just want the sensation of chewing. They want the sensation of tasting something crunchy. The food helps them to ground themselves. Okay, so that's very unhealthy. You need to find other ways to become present in your own body. Why are you dissociating like that in the first place? Why are you dissociating from your body? Why does it take food for you to come back into your own body? What are you trying to escape from? How is your life looking? I've never met somebody that's a beluga that has a wonderful leveled up life and because part of becoming overweight is you have to be dissociating in some area. You're dissociating, you're not paying attention. You're avoiding something. You're avoiding certain thoughts or certain feelings or certain emotions. You're scared of being bored. Some people you need to learn how to be bored. You need to learn how to sit there and not be on your phone and not like a lot of people they either have to just eat food or spend money. That's it. Those are their hobbies. Eating food and then spending up their money and spending up their credit cards, eating and shopping and then that's it. That's the only way they entertain themselves. It's like no. You have to learn how to not be addicted to overstimulating. Learn how to have a lower stimulation day. Just learn how to relax. That's really what that is. Relaxation that just means that it's low stimulation. That's all that means. Relaxing, being peaceful. It means there's low stimulation. You don't have a screen in your face all the time. You don't have food in your face all the time. You don't have a man's dick in your face all the time. You just know how to relax. Just lay down. Lay down on the beach, lay down on a blanket at the park, sit on a park bench, go on a walk. Those are examples of like low stimulation. So people who are belugas, like in my case, part of what made me a beluga was I was always trying to either escape from something, so dissociating, so not being present, and then I needed the food to kind of get back in my body and to kind of become, or sometimes it was also the opposite, like feeling stressed, and then I would use food as the escape. So literally, instead of expressing my emotions, the way I would express my emotion is via food. So I'm expressing my anger by eating more food. I'm expressing the fact that am not comfortable. I want to soothe my anxiety by eating food. So any emotion that I had, the way that I would soothe that emotion or deal with it would be via food. So you have to find other ways to express yourself. So now, in my case, I have this YouTube channel where I process my emotions publicly. And then, we get to kind of process our emotions together by commenting and like joining the Patreon and all that. So this is a form of emotional expression. Dancing is a form of expression for me. Even listening to music, singing along to music in the shower, or like even the way that I express my femininity, that's a form of emotional expression for me. If I'm feeling lighthearted, if I'm feeling playful, I might put on a playful dress. I might put on like a little sundress with like flowers on it. So that's another form of emotional expression. Women in beluga culture, they don't teach you how to express your emotions in a healthy way. Overeating is just another way of unhealthy emotional expression. And don't even get me started on if you come from a race or an ethnicity where emotional expression is bad, or you're only allowed to express anger and rage, and then you don't know how to express other emotions. Don't even get me started on that. So if you come from a race or ethnicity that's known for being obese, you got a whole other cultural issue that you have to solve as well. See, this is the benefit of multiculturalism. This is the benefit of being open minded. Some people have been taught that their cultural foods are the best. Like, oh, Mexican food's the best, or fried chicken, or whatever, XYZ type of food, and it's processed. Oh, that's the best type of food. Who told you that? Mexicans? Black people? White people? Italians? Oh no, but pasta's the best food. Who told you that? Italian people? Like, where are you getting all these random standards from? Where are you getting this mindset from that XYZ unhealthy food is the best type of food? Who told you that? Why do you have such a scarcity mindset about food? Why are you putting food on such a hierarchy? And it's like, if I'm going to put food on a hierarchy, I'd rather put the healthy food at the top of the hierarchy rather than putting like unhealthy food at the top. So I think that's another thing too. Some people come from cultures where they pedestalize certain foods. They pedestalize fried chicken, they pedestalize tortillas, they pedestalize pasta, or, whatever food is praised in their culture. They pedestalize gelato, or I don't know, whatever dessert is celebrated in your culture. They pedestalize baklava or fucking waffles and shit. Maybe they're Southern. You pedestalize like the big breakfast with the bacon and the pancakes and all that, like eating a stack of pancakes for breakfast. Where did that come from? Because that really sounds like marketing. Like when I think of having a stack of pancakes for breakfast, I think about IHOP. That's the biggest company growing up that was promoting eating a stack of pancakes for breakfast. So a lot of times you've really just been brainwashed. You've been brainwashed by all these companies. You've been brainwashed by Starbucks into thinking that the only way to celebrate fall is by having a pumpkin spice latte. You've been brainwashed by these chocolate companies. You've been brainwashed by Hershey's into thinking that having Hershey's Kisses or having these truffles and stuff around Christmas time, that, that's how you celebrate Christmas. You have to put candy canes on the Christmas tree and all that. No, all of that is just marketing. You watch too much TV. Like I said, a lot of your problems are coming from sitting around, sitting on your butt, wearing gigantic high heels, scrolling your phone when you're at the event, when you really should be enjoying the event. You watch too much TV. You're fat because you watch too much TV. You watch a bunch of shows, you're watching all the ads, and then people will say, oh no, I'm not affected by ads. Yes, you are. If you know all the sales at Chick-fil-A, if you can tell me all the things on the menu at Chick-fil-A or In-N-Out, if you know the secret menu to In-N-Out, if you know all the secret Starbucks drinks and shit, and you know how many pumps of this and how many pumps of that to put in there, you watch too much TV. You're on social media way too much. You're scrolling your phone way too much because you shouldn't know that much information, especially about processed food. So you're an expert on Chick-fil-A, but then you're not an expert on how to overcome credit card debt, or how to get an education, or how to get a better job, or how to start a business. Like, out of all the things that I could spend my time studying, Why would I study the secret menu at Starbucks? Bitch, I need to learn a new language. I want to do some traveling. I need to learn about flights and what airline is a good airline to go on. And I need to learn about like when the good times are to go on vacation and what hotels to stay at. That's what I want to learn about. I want to learn about traveling. I want to learn about other cultures. I want to learn about the new museum that just opened up in my city. I want to make friends. I want to talk to family members and spend time with people I love. Why would I just sit around and be on my phone? If you're fat, I guarantee you part of it is you're on your phone too much. All the ads are popping up, the McDonald's, the Chick-fil-A. And for a lot of belugas, they start panicking like whenever a vacation is coming up or a wedding or whenever they have a big event, they start panicking. They try to start fasting and stuff so they lose weight. And it's like, no. One of my skinny habits is stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I already look good. So what are you talking about? I don't care. Oh, I'm going on a spontaneous vacation. Okay, cool. I'm already bikini ready. I'm swimsuit ready. Oh, it's randomly a nice day today. Okay, cool. I can put my shorts on and my crop top and go outside. I don't have to start panicking and spiraling and feeling like I'm falling behind. Belugas feel like they're left behind. That's why they start panicking when it's summertime. They start panicking when they get invited to a pool party. They're panicking when they get invited to a cookout or asked on a date or whatever it is. They start panicking because they're like, oh, I wasn't prepared. My body wasn't prepared. Okay, yeah, it's because you didn't care. Deep down inside, you didn't think you would have that lifestyle. You didn't believe that you would have access to that lifestyle. So now, when the opportunity is right in front of you, you can't even take advantage of it because you're not ready. So, guess what? I stay ready, then I don't have to get ready. But what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comments section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.